Shan S, c'est comme mon grand frère. Voilà, je l'ai rencontré moi quand je l'ai invité sur Make Your Choice en 2014. Et après, on est resté très copains. C'est un des house dancers le plus musical que je connaisse. C'est la gentillesse par excellence. Hein. C'est une des personnes les plus gentilles que je connaisse dans le milieu hip-hop, qui m'a toujours soutenu, qui me tient toujours. Et pareil, grâce à lui et Khalif, j'ai pu accéder à cet événement. Il y a une semaine de workshop, de fêtes, de soirées, d'échanges, et il y a à la fin un battle.
Yeah, around early 90s, I started seeing house in the house clubs, and actually I didn't know it was called house at the time. I thought it was called club dancing, club music. So then later on I started hearing about this word house, and then I said, okay, well, the house culture is pretty cool when I first seen it. When I got into house, I just was only dancing, watching people, then dancing and going to the corner. But at that time, they didn't have no names. So I felt more free about it. After they started making names, then I felt a little, it's like a limit. I can't do so much because I gotta make it correct as the name. But I know the reason why the Dance Fusion, we all got together to make the names of the steps because we had to teach it. So that's why we had to make the name, so then it could go to history, or what is the loose leg, or what is the chase, what is the jack. But in the house club, it's just no name, so you can feel more free.
This is our house. This is our house. This is our house. And house music was born. And house music was born. This is our house. This is our house. And house music was born.
Even now, house is still complicated for some people because it's really deep. Like, you gotta really understand the whole culture thing about house to really get the feel, understand about house. The move when I do in a club and then somebody say, oh man, I want to take your private lesson because I really like the way you did in the club, but then I don't remember what I did in the club. So I try to remember the move, but it's hard to count because sometimes the music was changing. And it's like saying, if I open up this, it's easy to see you could count maybe 4 because you see 4 quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you see something like this, you'd be like, wow, I don't know how to count that. That's difficult. That's how I was dancing like this. So for me to make a count out of this, that was really complicated for me at first. But afterwards, I learned how to say, okay, maybe I use this point as 1, this point is 2, 3, you know, then I started learning more. Battle is a natural thing, don't get me wrong, because everything's a competition. You got iPhone, you got Samsung, you know, everything's a competition, and we learn from each other. But I think for the house, when the word battle started coming up, it kind of changed the feeling a little because it got more of a competition kind of way. Some people have, if they want to be a person who want to be in competitions, that's their passion. They want to travel the world, they want to keep the level. I wish them the best, you know. For me, the key is if it makes them happy and enjoy what they do, I'm okay. But it's get to a point where they have to balance. Like, the culture-wise for house will always to be happy, to enjoy, exchange, not to attack.
Comme Shan S, Sekou fait partie du groupe mythique Dance Fusion. Venant des arts martiaux, Sekou a plus des appuis axés vers le sol. C'est quelqu'un qui s'est beaucoup blessé. Du coup, il a une méthodologie de travail très physio qu'il a su adapter aux danseurs. Il a un flow qui est propre à lui-même et c'est un danseur que je trouve très classe à regarder danser.
For our generation, I would say the Paradise Garage and the Loft and places before that like the cafeteria and places like that were the catalyst for us for what is considered house culture. And back then, house culture was more club culture, so it only happened inside of the clubs. It wasn't something you saw in the street. Black and Latino culture in America from our house is actually what we call house culture outside the house. It's very much the same thing. So the first generations all over the world just got freestyle. But the generations under them started getting foundation. And at first it was kind of a ripple because the people before us were like, foundation, what's that? You never taught us that. Because we're still growing, you know, it's like people expected us to be, we never said we know anything. We only know what we know. And what we didn't know, we went to older people and asked, like any other culture. So that was the assumption at first, and it kind of rocked waves in Europe for a while. And we had some conflict at first. But then as time went on and they got older, they started realizing that, okay, this is actually a good thing. It's not easy to get old in this culture. Actually, you get yelled at, you get offended, you get all these things because, the dance is young. No, the dance is the oldest thing on the planet Earth. The dance is older than all of us. And as we got older, we realized the value of getting older in the culture that's looked at as a young thing. What do I bring to the table and innovate? Well, I'm the first person to blend capoeira concepts into house. So the texture of capoeira, the smooth transitions, the clean movements, I'm more of the innovator of that. I inherited that from people who were there before me. And so what started happening was I would just do capoeira to house music. And as I did capoeira to house music, I started realizing how close actually the steps from here were to the Afro-Brazilian cultural steps. It started revealing itself to me, and that was my approach.